to develop into a book that turned into a manual. And honest story, I started writing this manual on my aunt. She was a part of the charter schools in Michigan, and she said, if you can turn this into a program, I'll buy it for my school. So I said, you know what, I like money and I like education, I'm going to make it happen. So we started to go along that journey, and my computer broke down. And Facebook and MySpace of the world were taking off, and we said, you know, there's an opportunity to develop a customized platform that is specific to particular institutions that we move in and move out of and partner with, and have surrounded goal plan development for individual students and pairing them with alumni and their peers through effective means of mentorship. So that's what the company serves to do. We serve to mentor students as they transition through professional life through mentorship. I pass some packets around, but I'm a storyteller by nature. So I want to tell you a little bit of my story. So I was being mentored, and I'm still being mentored by an individual. His name is Kevin Porton. He's a CEO of a health system called Kishwaukee Health System. And understanding the culture and understanding the landscape of education and progression. I asked him, I wanted to get a firmer knowledge base of how he aspired through life. And I said, he was in his late 40s and he was the CEO of a health system, 14, 15 facility health system. And I said, Kevin, I said, how did you get into position? Because it's relatively impossible to go position by position and moving up the ranks. So he said, well, my first job out of school was a research assistant. I had a mentor. And I went straight from undergraduate to graduate school. From graduate school, the mentor, he was in charge of multiple hospitals. And he stated, guess what my second job out of school was my second year? I said, what, coordinator, director of a facility? He said, no, I was CEO. That's the power of mentorship. So I said, if we can take the power of this mentorship and provide it in a virtual space where it's easily accessible, where introverts and extroverts can get online, create goal plan development, partner with alumni that are vetted and are committed to their institution, and partner with them and assist them in transitioning through life. How much not only faster, but how much quality-based exchanges? How can we quantitatively be able to track that type of performance? So I said, that's extremely interesting. So he said to me, well, after I was CEO of this hospital, he's been on the CEO track ever since. So now he's the CEO of the health system where he has multiple hospitals reporting to him. I'll share with you another story. There's an individual, his name is Dennis Barcima. I was at President Obama's event. And at the inauguration, I was speaking with an individual that was an alumni of Northern Illinois University. Dennis Barcima I came up to him and I said, you know, I must say that I respect you as a person and what you've done for your university. We exchanged email addresses, and we had email communication for 3 months. And finally he emailed me and he said, you know what, I'm extremely busy, but I want to meet with you, and I want to hear more about what you have going on. Now this guy, he went on in his life to make he sold his company for about $580 some odd million, and now he invests in companies around the world. So I'm in his office. He teaches at NIU now. I'm in his office, and he says to me, 15 minutes into the conversations, he offered me a job at one of the companies he funded in Rockford. And I took that as an opportunity to learn, and I worked there for a short stint as I continued to build my company. So At the same time, not only recommitting myself to technology, because I'm not from technology. Like I said, I'm from education. I had to learn the technology piece. We paired with Northern Illinois University in a strategic partnership scenario where we onboarded students to build out the technology. But from that vantage point, I was able to not only reinvest in the education, but also reinvest into the education of technology, which I'm just excited to hear what Clemson University is doing, and you know, I would be more than willing and excited to hire some of your graduates going forward, because I truly believe in the aspect of driving our culture, driving education through what you've created. It's just phenomenal. So more intimately, in speaking about the product line for the company in its totality, we have 5 products. We have Excell University, which I'm going to spend the next 4 minutes talking about. We have Excell HS, which is a high school platform for overall mentorship. We have Excell Alliance, which is a community-based organization, and we onboarded a group called Fathers, Families, and Healthy Communities. We did a 2-year demonstration with them. They were awarded about $1 million, and we were there, and we still are their technology partner, where we're working with 400 fathers in the field. And we have the Excell U that's coming out pretty soon. That's specifically for individuals that want to receive mentorship through an online means and connecting with professionals in their chosen field. But Excell HS, we look to partner with departments across the country, and more specifically in this calendar year, in year 2014, throughout the 4 regions that we've identified. And being able to work with organizations like we're starting to work with University of Wisconsin-Madison through Devon Wilson and his department. He came to me and he said, we have an interest in further sustaining our students at the second year. We have a great first year program, but we want to put mentorship in the driven goal for sustaining success with our second year students. So we partnered in an effort to do that, and we're working with a base of 1,000 students to make that happen. And Devon said, I'll do you one better. We're going to bring Target on board, and we're going to bring, who was it, Google? We're going to bring Google on board, and they're going to start to mentor through this online means. A short story in terms of the power of mentorship. We were working with Beloit Memorial High School. Through Beloit Memorial High School, we started with just a dry list of mentors. And what I mean by a dry list, we just had email addresses, that's it. We put out communication through the email to collect interest on alumni that have graduated that have an interest in mentoring the students currently at Beloit Memorial High School. We got responses from over 16 states and 2 countries that started to mentor students at Beloit Memorial High School. And think about the learning exchanges that take place in that format. A lot of individuals, and I'll sum it up in saying a lot of individuals ask us about reporting and outcomes and driven success and how we collect it. It's easy to do it from a qualitative aspect, but how do you do it from a quantitative aspect? How do you promote those results? So what we do is we use asset-based reporting. So limited assets all the way to significant assets, and we do it on a normalized 9-point scale, so you can see visually, you can see the responses through our data progress reporting system. But you can also see from a numbers base, is that student moving in the direction that he or she needs to move in terms of not only the academic component in the classroom, but also from a holistic standpoint, because it's not just about the academics, but it's about quality of life. So we normalize that on a 9-point scale, which I would love to show you in another session.